Florida, a state known for its diverse ecosystems, wet climates, and lush, dense forests. This place offers the opportunity for many outdoor enthusiasts like myself to experience something outside their comfort zones and try something new. Approximately 1,200 miles of primarily backroads and off-road trails, taking you through over 15 of Florida's state and national forests, wildlife management areas, and even an Air Force base. And we're going to try to complete it in only 6 days. My name is Colin, you're watching Bug Out Overland, and this is the Florida Adventure Trail. It is 5:30 in the morning, Christmas Day 2022, and it is a nipple-twisting 15 degrees Fahrenheit outside, which made it all the more difficult to wake up this morning. To those of you that live out west and up north, I'm sure you get this kind of weather all the time, but to those of us like myself that grew up and live in the Carolinas, we don't get to see that kind of temperature often. I'm currently on my way to my hometown, Lexington, South Carolina, where I'll be meeting up with a couple of buddies, because we are going to be driving south for the winter to begin our journey of the Florida Adventure Trail, aka the F.A.T. If you're watching this video right now, I'm sure you may know a thing or two about the F.A.T. or want to know a little bit more about the F.A.T. But for those of you that don't know, the F.A.T. is a 1,200 mile route that consists of both blacktop and off-road trails that give us the opportunity to explore what Florida has to offer. This route was basically put together by a guy, a Florida native by the name of John Burkmeyer. John, if you're watching this, thank you so much for all of your hard work and dedication that allow guys like myself to get out and explore your backyard. John's spent the past 5 or 6 years putting together this route, and it was just released last month. So anyways, this trail is going to take, or I should say this route is going to take us starting in Osceola to Ocala to Richland. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. It's going to take us through Citrus, Tate's Hell, Apalachicola, Blackwater, Eglin. It's 1,200 miles, so that's a lot of trail to cover, and I've only got 6 days to do it, so hopefully I'll be able to get it all done. With all that being said, let's get started, and let's meet the rest of the crew. Alright, we finally made it down to Florida with only a couple hours of daylight left, and we're on our way to the first trailhead. Hopefully we can get to campsite before it gets dark, and we'll see what's waiting for us. After an hour or so of driving some open dirt roads, we finally got to a more interesting spot that would give us a slight glimpse at what was to come for the rest of the Florida Adventure Trail. good. Shortly after making it through that muddy section, we arrived at our campsite, which we had completely to ourselves. So we set up camp, cooked dinner, and sat around the warm fire until it was time to hit the hay. Okay, day one of the Florida Adventure Trail was a success. The trails that we hit for the first day, nothing was really too difficult. We did have the option of hitting a hard pass that we bypassed for time, since we were booked to get to our campsite before dark. Fortunately, we made it. Tons of open spots here, but then again, we did get here Christmas Day, so who knows, this could be a busier spot on the normal. Wish I could say I slept like a baby last night. I did not. Damn near froze my butt off. Definitely underestimated how cold it was going to be the first night, and right now I cannot feel my toes, so I'm sitting in the truck warming up, getting ready for the day, waiting for the others to wake up. So with all that being said, we got a lot of ground to cover today, and we're gonna have a good time. Anyways, after a little bit of convincing, I think we all got together this morning and decided we were all on the same page about going back and knocking out that water crossing, because we can't leave that out. We all were a little bit sad that we missed that, so we're gonna take a little bit of time, double back, and see if we can complete it. Yeah, this is it. Oh.
You were standing, getting in there. Are we sure we want to do this? I don't really want to do it. It's much worse than that big crossing we did yesterday. I'm kind of questioning it.
We turned onto the hard pass that we had skipped the day before, thinking this is where the water crossing was. That was actually further down the trail. We just hadn't gotten to it yet. We realized the deeper we got into this trail that it was way too heavily overgrown and hadn't been touched in months or even longer, but it still was a trail as it was mapped out. We even came across a random small tree, or rather a very large weed growing in the middle of the trail, so I cut it out of the way, hoping that we'd have better luck further up the trail. We did not. Okay. So after turning around out of this dense, overgrown section of forest, we got back out of this mess. Took a shortcut that we had noticed earlier back onto the hard pass, just for me to end up right back into another mess. Oh shit. There you go. Learning from my mistake, Max made it no problem at all. Jay, of course, wanted to try it anyways, and he cut right through it with those mud terrains. Mud puddle after mud puddle and after more mud puddles, we finally came to this fun, rutted out section, and I can only imagine what this section would have been like during the rainy season. After rounding one final corner, we finally made it to the main F.A.T water crossing. No, it is definitely not dried up. Oh my Jesus. Ooh, daddy. And of course, someone had to go first. Ready? All right. That was nothing. Damn. That was nothing. All of that working up for nothing. Oh, please tell me that GoPro is still there. Get all the mud off. Yeah. Mama!
I don't hear any sputtering. I think we're alright.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Anticlimactic.
We blasted through the remaining section of Osceola late in the afternoon, and knowing we wouldn't be able to get to camp before dark to make dinner, we decided to stop and grab a bite at Pearl's Country Store and Barbecue. Holy crap, that was some of the best brisket I have ever had. John, great suggestion, dude. That place was awesome. So, get like another 2.5, 3 hours maybe before we get to Hopkins Prairie Campground. That's what we're shooting for right now. And we definitely don't have 2.5, 3 hours of daylight left. So we're probably gonna end up having to do a little bit of off-roading at night. After driving through La Clusa, which was absolutely beautiful during sunset, and knocking out some more blacktop, we finally made it to Ocala, just in time to play in the dark. that it? Is this it? Did we make it?
What?
This is going to be awesome waking up tomorrow. Golly. We made it. Time to set up camp, go to bed. I cannot wait to see sunrise in the morning. This is a beautiful spot. I'm looking forward to it. So, good night, and I will see you guys in the morning. All right, good morning once again. It's 6:30 in the morning on day 3 for us, and I slept a little better last night because I bundled up in like 5 layers of clothing, but I still couldn't feel my toes. So hopefully tomorrow night will be a little bit better. I woke up before everybody else did once again. It looks like the sun is coming up, so let's take a look at what we got. With full bellies and a hunger for more adventure, we quickly packed up camp, warmed up our vehicles, and hit the trails. Alright, well we made it out of our campsite a good bit before 9 today, 9 a.m., which means we get to get a head start on the day. Our goal is to finish Ocala today and make our way through Withlacoochee State Forest and hopefully get through Citrus and camp in Citrus for the night. That will give us some very good headway to start our journey up the west coast and through the Panhandle. And we should have 3 or 4 days left to do that, so I'm excited. We should be able to at this rate, we should be able to get this done on time. Driving through some of these back roads in the Florida backcountry is absolutely gorgeous. I'm used to the mountains. That's where I do my off-roading and camping and whatnot, but this is definitely a cool change of scenery. Not as technical as maybe some of us would like, but then again, we are going to Citrus, and Citrus is supposed to be the most technical portion of this adventure route, so I'm ready to tackle it. We're going to tackle Citrus head on, and hopefully, knock on wood, we don't break any parts or screw up our vehicles, make it to camp on time, and get ready for the next day. Run into some trouble. We hit a pretty big bump back there, and Max is having some issues with his anti-locking brake or something. So me and Jay are having to turn around on the trail real quick, go back and check on him. He told us to come back. This may not be good.
Are you leaking by the wheel?
The rear wheel.
By the wheel though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's an axle seal, and when that seal blows, you also need to do the bearing
Assuming
because
that's
it's gonna
Marty.
wash the grease out. And
Alright, so I think we came to the conclusion that it is not diff fluid, it is brake fluid. Because when we start the truck up and press the brake, it starts flowing fluid out.
How far did you
When we
say
turn the truck
hard-
off and
hard
still
ball
press the brake, fluid still comes out.
I don't know.
The truck off, nothing's happening, and it doesn't smell like that
Yep, I got it.
nasty
So,
diff fluid.
If we just follow this road we're on,
Doesn't have much of a
back,
smell,
it takes
and
us
it's
to
a lot thinner,
19,
so we're thinking it's
that's
brake
the
fluid.
closest.
Either way, we're kind of screwed right now. At least Max is.
So we got 2.9
3
miles.
miles.
This ain't good. One of us broke our trucks and we haven't even made it to Citrus yet. We're gonna get Max and Rhonda back to some blacktop where they can get towed to a Toyota dealership and hopefully just be out for a couple of days.
Yeah, it's shit like this, and like when I broke the CV, it scares the living Jesus out of me.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna get him back to some blacktop so that way he can get towed to a dealership. He's gonna be out for at best a couple of days, so
A mechanical bone in my body.
we're not in a very good position right now. Maybe me and Jay will press on and be able to complete it in time.
Always good
not
to
sure
have
what-
a Marty or a Lewis with you.
I'm not sure what they want to do, so
Well, Marty said, did you hear what he's saying? The same thing.
this might put a big dent on our trip. We'll see. After determining that Max was down for the count, Jay and I said our goodbyes and hoped that maybe we would see our friends further up the road within the next day or so after their truck was fixed. With no time to lose, we pressed on, not knowing that the second half of our journey would be even more interesting than the first half. Be sure to check out part 2 to see our all but disappointing experience with the rest of the Florida Adventure Trail. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.